In this presentation, we will process payroll forms, the 941 and W-3, including a paycheck which included a year-end bonus, comparing and contrasting the payroll forms that include a year-end bonus with prior calculations which did not have the year-end bonus within QuickBooks. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info. Here we are on the home page. We currently have the open windows open. You can open the open windows by going to the view drop down and selecting the open windows list. We're going to go up top to the employees and we're going to go to the payroll forms and W-2 and we're going to process payroll forms. We're now in the Employee Center Payroll tab, File Forms. We're going to be in the 941 and take a look at the calculations so far for the 941. We are in the fourth quarter ending on 12/31/18, December 31st, 2018 for our problem. We're going to say OK, process those forms. I'm going to say next and see the calculations we have for the fourth quarter of the 941s. Line 2 has the FIT wages, and then we've got the wages over here for the taxable Social Security, the taxable wages for Medicare, and then the taxable wages and tips subjects to additional Medicare tax withholdings. And this is going to be for the high earner here, so you'll note that we have this additional tax if we're over a certain dollar amount for the Medicare. We're going to focus in here on these two items. You'll notice that the taxable Social Security is capped at the $145,900, while the taxable Medicare is the $300,833. So of all these numbers, this is the highest wage number, this taxable Medicare. So let's first get to this number, and then we'll see where these other numbers are derived from it. So we're going to go back into our calculations. We're going to say, okay, there was our original employee, Anthony, had 4 paychecks. And that's because we had the 3 paychecks for October, November, December, but the prior paycheck to that, September, was actually paid in October. So we have 4 paychecks here. The last paycheck in December, we squeezed into this year by actually paying it at the end of the pay period on December 31st. So that's why we have 4 in this quarter. That gives us the $16,250. Then we have an adjustment for life insurance, vision, and health savings, giving us $17,500 for Anthony. And then we had our big earner, Judy Jones. We had 2 pay periods. This is the normal salary that Judy's getting for each pay period. And so that's the $83,333. And then we gave the bonus, the $200,000 one-time bonus of the $200. So this is our first employee total. This is our second employee normal wages. Here's the bonus. If we add them up, that's going to give us our $300,833. Our second employee here hit the cap, however, and all the cap was hit in the last quarter. So that means that the cap is at $128,400, the Social Security cap. So in terms of the Social Security wages, we have Anthony's wages. Anthony did not hit the cap. And then all of Judy Jones' wages was in this time period. And so we have to cap them at $128,400, even though earnings were actually up to the $283,333. So in other words, if we add up Anthony's earnings and the capped earnings at $128,400, that's going to give us the Social Security $145,900. So that's going to be these 2 items here. The difference between this $300,000 and the $297,21 for FIT should be the contributions into the employee 401k plan. And then we have the items that are going to be subject to the additional Medicare for the high earners that's only being subject to Judy Jones. The earnings subject to additional Medicare is going to be the 83, meaning it's going to be the amount over the $200,000. So over a certain dollar amount, you'll have additional Medicare. Judy had 83,333.34 over the $200,000 in the fourth quarter, being subject to the additional Medicare at the $750. So those are our 3 wages. These are our rates, employer and employee portion. We should then be able to look at our 4 paychecks and add up the Social Security, Medicare for both the employer and employee portion, matching these items. The FIT for those 4 paychecks should be whatever they are calculated to be, and we can't really double check them because of the complexity in the progressive tax structure. So we're just going to have to report that is what it is. That'll give us the totals we have so far. We haven't paid off the liabilities on them in this practice problem. We're going to go then to the W-2s now. So if we go to the W-2, I'm going to scroll down just a bit. W-2 and W-3. We're going to make it for 2018 and say OK. Processing those forms, we're going to say review and edit. Next, next, next. And then we'll actually see our W-2s and W-3. Here's what we have for Judy Jones now. You'll note that the 3 wage numbers are now different. So they're all different numbers on the wage numbers. The last one, the Medicare, is probably closest to actual wages because it's the highest number, although it's not completely accurate as well, because it could be the case that there are some things that aren't included in the Medicare wages number. If we take this Medicare wages and we compare it to the FIT wages and see what that difference should be, it should be the 283,333.34, and then we're going to subtract from that the 401k, 7,000 reported here, 7,000, and then add to it the S Corp MP, the 4,000. So we'll say plus 4,000, and that's going to give us our difference here in the wages. So these 2 items are giving us our difference between the Medicare wages and the FIT wages. The Social Security wages will, of course, be at the cap. So they hit the cap, and therefore it stops at the 128,400 because that's the cap. It will never go above that. Then we have the FIT calculations up top, which will be the summing up of everything reported on the paychecks. The Social Security, which we can compare to all the W-2s and or the quarterlies, the 4 quarters now. The Medicare, same thing. We should be able to, we can basically recalculate it, but now we have the additional. Remember, we have the additional. We can look at the 4 quarters, which should sum up to this, as well as all the paychecks that are related to this employee. We have the 401k reported. We have the S Corp CP, the California SDI, and then the California wages and withholdings. Let's go to the next employee, Anthony. We had no bonus here, so it should be much the same. We have our 12 pay periods for Anthony at this time. Anthony will then have the 50,000 Social Security, and that being different than the 48,217 by this 2,233. This 50,450 can be thought of as what he gets paid each time here, and then we're going to multiply that times 12 pay periods. This would be the gross pay, and then we had adjustments for life insurance, vision, and the health savings account, which would adjust to 50,450. And that 50,450 then is what we have here. We can see that we have line C and W relating to the life insurance and the health savings account. Then if we scroll down, we've got the California SDI and the state wages as well as the withholdings. Then we're going to go to the W-3. So if we scroll next and next, we see the W-3. This will be summing up all the information for all of our 2 employees now for the total wages. We can see, of course, once again, that total wages do not line up for the 3 wage categories in terms of FIT, Social Security, and Medicare. 3 different numbers for those boxes. If we were to consider the total wages, then we're going to say the Medicare, being kind of the most accurate, is going to be what we summed up for our 2 employees plus the bonus to get to that 333,783. And then, of course, the more complicated differences are due to Judy Jones, the high earner who hit the Social Security cap, which is the reason that these 2 items are going to be different. And then the differences between these 2 being the amounts that are going to be reported for the 401k and the S Corp medical information. But in essence, these will be the summing up of, as if it was just one employee summing up all of the information that's reported on all the boxes for all W-2s. So if we sum those up, we should get these items. We should be able to compare to the Social Security and Medicare and the FIT to the 941s as well. We can tie those out. Just remember that this is only the employee portion. So we'd have to just be looking at the employee portion, or half the amounts that would be reported on the 941s as we compare all these items out. Here's the deferred compensation for all of the box 12s and the state wages and state taxes. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info.